Hey there, my dear friend. It's Paul here, your slightly creaky but ever hopeful 80-year-old pal. You know, the kind who's been around the block more times than I can count, mostly because my knees remind me every morning, and I want to have a heart-to-heart with you today. So grab yourself a nice warm drink, settle into a cozy chair, and let's talk like old friends do. Now, I know this feeling. Being over 65 and feeling forgotten, it's a shadow that creeps up on many of us. Sometimes it feels like the world has switched channels and left us on mute, like an old radio that only catches static. People rush past us, conversations skip over us, and suddenly you're left wondering if you're just a forgotten bookmark in the story of life. But here's the truth, friend. You are far from forgotten. Not by me, and certainly not by the world if you choose to reclaim your joy. Over the years, I've learned there are 6 powerful ways to find that spark again, those little embers that can burst into a roaring fire if you nurture them. You might laugh, you might cry, but I promise if you stick with me, you'll feel lighter and brighter by the end of this chat. Ready? Let's dive right in. 1. Embrace your stories like a bestseller. You've lived decades, stories stacked up like piles of old books, each one filled with adventures, lessons, laughter, and maybe a few scars. Those memories are your treasures. Don't tuck them away like dusty antiques. Share them. I started telling my grandkids about my wild adventures, like the time I tried to dance the twist and nearly toppled the coffee table. They laughed so hard I felt like a rock star again. Your stories remind you and others that you are vibrant and alive. Here's something I discovered. When you open up and tell your stories, people listen. Sometimes the world just needs a good story to remember you by. I remember feeling invisible once at a family reunion. Everyone was busy on their phones, chatting about politics or the latest Netflix show, and I was like a forgotten radio in the corner. So I cleared my throat and began recounting the time I hitchhiked across the country with nothing but a backpack and a terrible haircut. Slowly, heads turned. People leaned in. By the end, I had the whole table laughing and asking for more. That's when I realized stories have power. They connect us, remind us who we are, and make us unforgettable. You might think your stories aren't interesting enough, but believe me, they are. That time you got lost on a family vacation, or that crazy thing your dog did, those moments matter. Share them with anyone who will listen, a neighbor, a friend, or even write them down. It's a gift you give yourself and others. 2. Laugh until your belly hurts. Yes, even if it's about you. Laughter isn't just a luxury, it's medicine for the soul. I've tripped over my own cane more times than I care to admit. One day, I took a spectacular fall right in front of my neighbors. Did I sulk? Nope. I got up, took a theatrical bow, and said, thank you, I'll be here all week." That moment of levity transformed embarrassment into joy and reminded me how powerful laughter can be. Don't take yourself too seriously, friend. You're a masterpiece of experience, peppered with quirks and a touch of silliness that makes you unique. Embrace that. I found that laughing at myself keeps my spirit young and my heart light. Take my hearing aid, for example. I call it my space-age ear trumpet and joke about tuning into alien signals. My neighbors probably think I'm a little nuts, but they can't help but chuckle. Laughing at ourselves is the secret sauce for keeping joy alive. So when life trips you up, literally or figuratively, get up, smile, and laugh it off. It's one of the best ways to reclaim your joy. 3. Find new passions that make your heart race, or at least flutter. Here's a secret I discovered a little late in life. Your bucket list never expires. I took up gardening recently and became obsessed with growing tomatoes. Watching those little green babies turn red was pure magic. It was like life itself slowing down to glow for me. Find something that excites you: painting, dancing, learning a language, cooking a new recipe, or even birdwatching. When you engage with new passions, it's like giving your heart a fresh beat, a reason to get up and smile. One of my best friends took up salsa dancing at 70 and swears it's the fountain of youth. Me? I'm still trying to convince my plants to listen to my jokes, but hey, it's worth a shot. New passions bring new energy and color your life in ways you forgot were possible. 4. Connect, connect, connect. Isolation is the sneakiest thief of joy. After my dear wife passed away, I felt like a ghost wandering through my own home. But then I started going to local community events and even joined a few Zoom chats. Yes, me and technology finally shook hands. Meeting new folks, hearing their stories, and sharing mine reminded me we're all threads in this big, beautiful tapestry. If you're feeling alone, don't wait for someone to knock on your door. Go knock on theirs. Join a book club, a gardening group, or even a knitting club. Yes, those yarn jokes are something else. I'll admit, I was hesitant at first, thinking, knitting club? Isn't that for grandmas only? But that turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made. The laughter, shared stories, and even the yarn tangles gave me a new sense of belonging. And if I can survive Zoom glitches and the infamous "you're muted" moments, trust me, so can you. Before I continue, I have a small favor to ask. If you're finding even a little light from this chat, please hit that like button, share it with someone who might need a smile, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more stories like this. It means the world to me and keeps this old heart going strong. 5. Take care of your body like it's your best friend. You know, our bodies are like those old classic cars. Beautiful, reliable, but needing a bit more attention and care as the years roll by. I used to think that exercise was just for the young, the ones who bounce out of bed like kangaroos. But boy, was I wrong. After a firm but kindly nudge from my doctor, I started with gentle walks around the park, moving slower than a turtle on a lazy day, but moving nonetheless. The first few steps were shaky, and I was convinced every passerby was silently thinking, there goes that old guy trying to do gymnastics. But that's the thing, my friend. Movement, no matter how small, is a celebration of life. It's saying to yourself, I am still here, and I am going to keep going. And oh, the difference it makes. After a few weeks, I noticed my joints creaking less, my breath steadier, and even my mood lifted like a kite catching a good wind. There's a kind of magic in feeling your own strength return, even if it's just a little at a time. I also started exploring other ways to care for my body. I tried yoga, not the fancy Instagram perfect poses you see, but the version where I mostly just fall over and laugh. It's humbling, yes, but joyful too. Sometimes the best exercise is the one that makes you smile, even if it's because you can't quite touch your toes. Diet? Well, let me confess, I'm still very much a chocolate enthusiast, but I've learned to balance that love with healthier choices. Instead of a mountain of chips, I might reach for a handful of nuts. Instead of sugary soda, a refreshing glass of water or herbal tea. It's not about perfection, but progress. And the best part? When you treat your body kindly, it rewards you with energy, alertness, and a zest for life that makes those new passions and stories even sweeter. Remember, my friend, taking care of your body isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. Now I want to share with you a little story from my own journey. It was a chilly autumn afternoon, and I was feeling especially low, forgotten, lonely, like a tree losing its leaves. I sat on my porch, wrapped in my favorite blanket, staring at the horizon. Then, out of nowhere, a little girl from the neighborhood skipped over, holding out a bright orange leaf she had found. "For you, mister," she said with a grin. That tiny gesture cracked open my heart. In that moment, I realized that joy isn't something far away or locked behind youth. It's in the kindness we share, the connections we nurture, and the gratitude we hold in our hearts. Friend, feeling forgotten after 65 is not your fate. It's a feeling, a season, a moment, and you have the power to rewrite your story. Through laughter, connection, movement, passion, storytelling, and gratitude, you can reclaim your joy and live fully, fiercely, and beautifully. Life after 65 isn't about fading away. It's about dancing in the sunlight with all the wisdom and grace you've earned. So put on your dancing shoes, even if it's just in your living room, and dance like nobody's watching. Thank you for spending this precious time with me. Remember, you're never truly alone, and joy is waiting for you to reach out and grab it. Till next time, keep laughing, loving, and living. Paul.